been wanting to feature more photographers on this channel for a while now. I had a really good opportunity recently with my friend James. He's been in Thailand for quite a few years, but he came back to this area for a little bit. We were able to organize something together, but we're going to go 2 different videos for this. The first one is about gear. Of course, we're going to look at his equipment with his street photography. He has a real large focus in journalism. I think it's really oral history, which is his main focus. With that comes all of the photo side of it. So we're going to look at his gear this time. He has 2 different sets of gear, 2 different kits. We've got one for all the street photos and then one for all the extra stuff like tripod work. Let's take a look at that. Hope you enjoy it.
When I do street photography, I do the 31.4 or I do the 20mm because that 20mm, I love the 40mm on a full frame, so the 20mm is just that equivalent. At nighttime, if I'm doing street photography at night in Bangkok, I'll use the 30mm f1.4 exclusively.
Okay.
And then even wide open, it's still pretty sharp. So the only thing is that CA is really bad.
Oh.
The CA on that 30mm is so bad. So if you get like a sunset and there are cars coming at you, all of them have purple headlights.
Okay.
Yeah. Neon lights and fluorescent lights have that halo around it. Any fluorescents have just purple all around it. Kind of ruins it, but solid photojournalist lens. I use that a lot. Rain, shine, wind, ice, sand, and then
The Canon for the standalone stuff?
Yeah.
Or his tripod stuff?
Yeah. Anything I'm gonna do like a panorama, and this is my low pro camera Sling 3 that I've had to repair. I don't recommend this bag.
Yeah.
I do, but I don't, because the zippers were so poor that it ripped open on New Year, and I'm walking around with my bag like wide open. But this zipper up here I've had to replace, and like down here I've had to sew it back on.
Yeah.
But something like this is good for like, I'm on the motorcycle a lot. I don't want to carry a big backpack.
Okay.
And if I'm like out walking, you know, it's really non-threatening. You look like a tourist.
That's
Nobody really minds.
Yeah.
And there's space in here. There's space in this one for like a tablet.
Oh, right.
So I got like a 10-inch Windows tablet for my Canon. I got this super cheap tripod. It's like a Zome, but it's the copy of whatever that really popular model is right now. That goes for like $150. This one was, I think, like $100.
Okay.
But it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid. And you can detach it as it becomes a monopod, and then like you can put different heads on it. I have a video head. I prefer the video head, so I can get like a smooth pan if I do like a landscape or like B-roll something. I like that smooth pan. But it was the smallest one, and when I came back to the States, I put the smallest head because that video head is like that big.
Yeah.
My little jelly rolls. I've got my color space. This is my backup, and then all the different cords and stuff, and the extra cloth. Keep it in a nice dry place. And then in here, I have some Russian lenses on my Pixco reducer, where like it does EF, but it doesn't do focus. These are autofocus chips that I can use on the 80D, but when you put it on the Micro Four Thirds, it just reduces. It's not smart. There's no focus confirmation on it anyway with manual lenses, but and then the lens that I tell everybody they should own is my Helios 44M, and then these are like I don't know if you can get through it, but like it's clickless, and it's really nice. The quality is better than it seems like it would be, especially for an old lens. And then I use I think this is a Pixco adapter, and they work. Some work, some don't. But I usually use EF lenses exclusively on an EF body. I don't like to put them on my Micro Four Thirds.
Right.
But so this is a mess. Give me a second here. So this, we've got 24, is that a 24 or the 50? That's the 40, 50, And then this is the tank that it's not a good lens. I don't recommend it, but you can beat it up.
Okay.
I really don't recommend that lens. And I've got your standard like EFS lenses in here. And then in here, this is my...
Okay. Use flash much?
I don't, only when I need to. And then in here, I keep a 24, and it's got the
Oh, okay. Variable ND.
Yeah, the variable ND on there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a super sharp lens. It's nice, but it's not good in daylight. Yeah, I was thinking maybe you might want to try that 40mm, but I didn't think fast enough. And so I usually cram everything in there, but for street photography, if I'm going to use this for street photography, it's usually going to be the 40.
Oh, okay.
And like
a little smaller.
A lot smaller, man. Especially on like a 5D. You put this 40mm on a 5D, and that big huge 5D becomes real tiny. I'm gonna take this off. Quick release plate. But so, yeah, this one's got the red grip on it. The red thumb grip, because I'm always sort of like gorilla grip, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. That's good.
And then I don't use the, I have the hood for this, but I don't use it because it's silly. I just use a little slim guy. The hood for this is like this big. Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you travel a lot, and if it goes in an airplane where there are pressure changes, and in Thailand you need this.
Yeah.
Especially during this time of year.
That is a nice compact, even with the grip.
Well, so I can take the battery off, and then it's just super handy.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, this?
A little hack.
Yeah, because my hand is so big. I mean, if I'm not using, I've got some speed lights, but I don't usually use them. So, yeah, put that back on there. It fits my hand.
Okay.
I've got another one for the ADD that I don't have, but it kind of curves down and over.
Okay.
So it curves over the little prism bump.
Nice.
But this guy, I was really kind of disappointed when I got this. I thought it was going to have 2 batteries, but it's got 1.
How does that work?
Well, it's because it's so small. It's only...
Oh, it uses the internal plus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's the battery.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so then you've got the one in the internal battery and
the Pentax I used to use had that set up. So you have to take it off to change the internal.
Yeah. Which is kind of a pain. A gig and 16 gig.
Okay.
And I have the speeds. I've marked the speeds. They're not very good cards. I have a plastic bag, really tightly folded up. I have the battery cover for my extra battery.
Oh, okay.
And I have a little lens cloth.
Makes sense.
You can stick SD cards in here. They're great.
It's interesting to see what kits other people use, especially in different types of photography that I don't normally do. So with street photography, it was great to have James there with his kit so I could see what he uses, see how he works, and learn from that. In a future video, we're going to be going to the actual city market that we checked out. We took photos at, tried to talk to people, take photos of them, and a lot of other situations that were pretty fun and interesting. Of course, all of the links for his social media will be in the description. I'd suggest checking them out. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Scott Photography Bonsai. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. That helps me out a lot. Likes and shares help out a lot as well. Thanks again.
Just a few minutes for hair and makeup. That's what you need. You need somebody to do the hair.
That would be nice.
Fix the wig for you?
Yeah. It's a
Instead of
big
like
hassle.
clone stamp out all the little...
Pretty much.